Good evening, folks. It's Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight is Wacky Wednesday. Let's discuss the investigation into nepotism and corruption. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, quick update on the investigation that has been requested by everyone who's not corrupt. Also, kids say the darndest things. What was my son told on the bus not that long ago? Oh man, folks. Also, what's going on with the Margaret Coleman camp? I am seeing more signs being put up. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered, and today's Wacky Wednesday. So gonna be a little wacky. No, not too much, right? We don't want people going around talking about me behind my back, do we? You know, those that smile in your face and act like they're cool with you, you know, but they're really not, apparently, you know, until you find out from other people. And that's what's going on here. But imagine finding out from your own son. These things are really funny to me. They really are. You got to love Yonkers. That's right, folks. I want to first talk about this article that I did share on the page here in regards to the request, the investigation that has been requested into Mike Spano and nepotism. I also want to give it go over, I should say, the podcast for Sunday, which I'll be discussing the DSEG case. But I got an interesting little documentary to share with you folks. Where did I put this article here? I just shared it. It's given an update. It talks about how the DA punted the request for this investigation back to Liam McLaughlin. Well, we know that Liam is probably not going to do anything. Where the heck did this article go? Someone sent it to me, and I'm not sure where I put it. Oh, anyway, I'll read it from here. The saga of Yonkers Mayor Spano's bid for a fourth term may well unfold with new sets of eyes on the web of family relationships that link his family in Yonkers City Hall. April 26 Tax Watch investigation of the Spano ties, which turned up 14 relatives working for the city government and the mayor's brothers, representing a slew of developers and municipal worker unions in Albany, attracted the attention of the left-leaning CDNY16 indivisible political group, but it also attracted the attention of Basement Politics and all you beautiful people that support and watch, right? The group sent a letter to Westchester DA Mimi Rocha seeking an investigation to what it saw as corruption and appearances of impropriety among the Spanos. Then New York's Working Family Party, which endorsed Rocha for DA, chimed in too, calling for an investigation. So yeah, look, they supported, endorsed Rocha, the Working Family Party. So will Rocha, you know, try to just stay away from this? Does she feel like she's, you know, scot-free now that she kicked it off to Liam? Is that what she's hoping? Rocha demurred and punted the request to 3 agencies. Well, the state comptroller, the Yonkers Ethics Board, which is no good, and the Inspector General. She saw no criminality alleged, and she wasn't going to look for it until someone else pointed to specific allegations. What? I guess she doesn't look for it. She just prosecutes it, right? Don't bet on the Ethics Board or Inspector General's office to make a breakthrough anytime soon. Both agencies are flushed with Spano loyalists. Inspector General Liam McLaughlin has already weighed in. He told me that he understands state civil service law, and from what he's seen, everything having to do with the Spano clan in City Hall is above board. I see nothing here but naked political silly season accusations, McLaughlin said. An unsigned letter from the Indivisible Steering Committee presents no evidence of any wrongdoing. What about some of the stuff I presented, Liam? I know you guys have watched it. You liked it. I have a knowledge of civil service law, and among the parties involved, I see no ethical violations. As for the ethics board, it's a body that the mayor's team has neglected. The board is supposed to have 7 members. It currently has just 4, the bare minimum to hold a meeting. The city's website last week named as named as Chairman Thomas Drexel, but he moved up the line to Mayor Pack 3 years ago. The website was updated and it currently shows 4 members and 2 vacancies, though the city code says there are to be 7 members. So you see, folks, we are putting pressure, right? We're putting pressure and they're starting to do things. They're updating the website. They're fixing sidewalks. That's a good thing. It's chairman, former. No, that's something else. I don't even know why I put that up there. So yeah, so I mean, I want to read that there. They're again making the point that I made. How is Liam going to investigate? How are we going to expect to see an investigation from Liam? Maybe the state controller. We know that Yonkers Board of Ethics is barely, there. They're not doing anything, and they all have been appointed by the mayor. Liam McLaughlin was appointed by the mayor. City council, I believe, also voted. So, I mean, he's not going to investigate. And so we are hoping now that the New York State Comptroller investigates. But what is he going to do? I mean, he's already looked into the budgets and has made many criticisms of the way the city manages its fund, but there's been no investigation from the Comptroller's office. And so then, what do? I think we need to put more pressure on Mimi Rocha. I think she should investigate. And I think that we need to write specific allegations. We need help. I think, maybe anyone out there would like to put a letter together. Maybe you can send it to me, right? I mean, we need to name, I guess, specific allegations that say there's nothing that was alleged of criminality. It's just saying that it's, nepotism. He's got a lot of members of his family working for the city. But what about the salaries? That should have been pointing out. What about the fact that many of his family members are making over $150,000 a year in such a short amount of time? What about the fact that his sister-in-law was appointed to the city, the YIDA as the executive director? She went from $85,000 a year to making over $150,000. But people say it's a no-show job. She doesn't go into work, really, according to city insiders. And then there is the patronage jobs, the friends. That right there is crazy. And that's just as bad as the family members. But I think that's worse because those individuals are put there to specifically commit crimes, I believe. But they're there to do what the mayor says. And a lot of that, at the very least, is unethical. And so that's important. And if they do these things, then they get their whole family hired. And they get these crazy salaries, like Carlos Moran. $193,000. And I'm hearing he makes more money, side money. I don't know how true this is, but today I'm hearing that, and this is a reliable source. Information that I've gotten from this source has been true, that he makes a lot more than $193,000 through side hustles that he is able to do because of his position and his relationships with certain people in the city. Think about, who is the person that decides the contracts, right? Who gives out contracts for different departments? Who approves them? Who are they giving these contracts to? And are they receiving any kickbacks? You got to think, why is it that certain individuals are the ones that are constantly getting contracts and getting the work? Also, when it comes to the nonprofits, there's definitely kickbacks in grant money, 1,000%. Am I saying it's wrong? I mean, if somebody writes you a grant, I could see you doing that as a salary. Maybe you can get a percentage of the grant money you receive for being the grant writer. But if you're saying, okay, we're going to funnel or steer grants to your nonprofit, but you have to kick back that 20% or whatever the percentage is to these certain officials that make sure you got that grant steered to your nonprofit, I don't think that that's okay. And many of these nonprofits, if you notice, most of the money goes to salaries, employee benefits, and other compensation. Very little of it actually goes to what their mission and vision statements are. And so you have to wonder, Are these just set up merely to make money, try to get grant money, federal funding, state grants, county grants? And if you align yourself with a certain politician or two or three or four or five or six or more, they will surely steer grant money to you. Is that what goes on? You know, I, we have to be also, able to, you know, use reason, right? Use logic. We're not going to always have certain, or I'm not always going to present, I should say, detailed information. I'm sure, or I should say, like hard evidence of the smoking gun. But I mean, you know, you have to be able to see that what's really going on. I mean, we're not making this up, right? Makes a lot of sense. We see it. So, and that's the issue. So this is why we have to really come out this year and change what's going on here politically. And I know we don't have a lot of choices, right? We have when I'm talking about at least the race for mayor, we have obviously Mayor Spano, the incumbent. He's running again. He's putting up signs all over now. I heard for the third term, he didn't put up very many signs, but he's putting up signs now. We have Corazon Pineda Isaac, who's really trying to, come at the mayor and really criticize him on, the fact that he's done nothing. And she's going to get criticized, right? And she's going to be criticized for the way her district looks. I know I have criticized that. Oh, I should want to say this. Speaking of Corazon Pineda, I want to say this. I reached out to her husband and I apologized to him. Listen, as a father, I'm a man, I'm a father, I'm a husband. And, so I understand what it is to be attacked and have your family attacked. And, I don't know if I necessarily attack, because I do want to be honest. I don't attack like family and kids, unless your wife works for the city, right? There's a connection there. But if she's private, don't know about her, right? But I've never really attacked her kids and anything. What I did say was that there were these rumors, right? And I don't really want to repeat the rumors, but there were these rumors. And then I said that they were just rumors. And I said who started the rumors, right? This is as I was told by actually Vinny Spano. And so I shared that on my podcast. And I know I may not have been maybe have said it in the nicest way, because again, I was myself upset about the way my family was being attacked. But I did say they were rumors and that I believed them to be rumors, and I didn't perpetuate them here on Basement Politics. And this is something that I heard from people, and I just wanted to say it's rumors. It's rumors. Put it to bed. It's not cool, because yes, they have kids, and I understand I have kids. And so, there may have been other things that I have said. I don't always remember what I say, but I will own it. I don't have any problem owning things I said, as long as I really said it, But there may have been other things at some point. But for the most part, I kept Corazon out of my podcast. Some people would even say, hey, Freddy, you support Corazon. You really don't talk about her that much. But there may have other things that I've said that offended, hurt, or made her husband and family feel disrespected. And so I reached out to apologize, because at the end of the day, honestly, regardless of what you may see on Basement Politics, or you may, have heard about me, I'm really not a person that's out there to hurt people. I don't look to hurt people. So even if I didn't intentionally, or even maybe it's being misconstrued, if it still made the individual feel that way, then I will apologize. And I did. And I apologize to myself. I want to apologize to you, for feeling disrespected, feeling hurt, to your wife, to your kids, if, that's how you felt, because at the end of the day, I don't want to have you feeling that way. And I want to apologize if I made you feel like that. And that's it. I don't want nothing from you. I'm not looking for anything from your family. If you don't want to ever talk to me about whatever, that's cool. I mean, not that we talk, but I'm just saying, but so I just want to at least have that there and say, listen, I'm here, because again, they're not attacking me. They're not the Brian Harris. They're not the Yonkers Voice. They're not the Vinny Spanos. They're not these individuals. And so, I don't want to be that person, right? So I just want to say that I want to put it on my podcast also and say that I apologize to Corazon, her husband, and family if I offended them. They felt disrespected. They felt hurt by things that I have said or may have said or may have been interpreted a certain way, regardless of what. If that's the feeling that they got, I want to apologize for that, because I'm a man, right? I know what it's like to have my family attacked. So I just want to put that out there because, I did say that on privately, and I think I should say it publicly because I talk about everything publicly, right? So I want to say it publicly. So my apologies. I'm sorry to the family, and that's it. I don't want anything other than that. So, but speaking of that stuff, right? And kids saying the darndest things, right? I wasn't upset, but I actually thought it was funny more than anything else. But my son comes to my wife and I and says, "Hey, Dad, I'm not gonna say the name, but Keisha Skipper's son rides the bus with my son. They have, same bus. And he says to my son that his mom hates my mom and that she says I'm a psycho dad." And I just said, "What? Really? Okay." Right. My wife was more kind of upset, well, why would she say something like that? I just thought it was funny because I get it, right? I may have said stuff about Keisha Skipper. I mean, you did, kind of, double cross Mike Cater. You kind of, did an about face there. And then you voted and supported for Lakeisha. She thanked you along with not such a nice crowd of people. And look at where we at now, right? And then she, well, not her, but, well, yeah, she introduced the fourth term. Look at that. And then you're supporting Margaret Coleman. You just made it more difficult for yourself, right? Maybe if you had, been true to your word, we wouldn't be here, man. You could have helped Cater win, right? But yeah, so I just thought that was why I bring it up is this. You got to be careful what you say around your kids, and you have a right to feel however you want to feel. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. But if that's how you feel, that's cool. But you got to be careful what you say around kids. Kids, they don't, they don't understand, right? And it's unfortunate because they do speak to each other on the bus, right? And so they don't know why this would be, right? And her son doesn't understand why she would say she hates my wife, which we don't even understand that why. We're like, well, okay, yes, I don't know. We care to share, but and then my son to hear that, right? To hear somebody saying that their mommy hates his mom, right? As if she's a bad person or she did something to this person, because I can't even, it just, if I don't, this is twice today, actually. This is the second time. Of the person. I'm baffled by it. There is no reason, no rhyme or reason or logic for it, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I guess me if I do the podcast, but and then to say, that his dad is a psycho dad when he loves his dad and he knows exactly who his dad is. And his dad is not a psycho dad. His dad is a great dad, a loving dad, a fun dad, a dad that makes sure he takes care of him and looks out for him, and to put, these two kids in that situation because of, things that are being said by an adult who should have known better and been more careful in, where they're speaking and who they're speaking in front of. It's sad, it's very sad, and so I wanted to mention it because, like I said, I talk about everything on the podcast. And, Keisha Skipper, you got to just be careful what you say to your son. It's fine if you want to hate my wife and you think I'm a psycho dad. I don't know if you know about me as a dad. Maybe my neighbors are talking, right? Because I hear my neighbors are listening, which is good because there's things anywhere. One day maybe I'll share some of these things that I've done to kind of prepare for things like this. Even in my car, I think it might be bugs, so just in case. But people have told me to be careful with these things, so we try to counter that stuff by doing different funny things. But yeah, so I just wanted to say that just be careful who you're speaking to. I mean, speaking around you, especially kids. They shouldn't have to be hearing that stuff. And I don't hate anybody. My kids are not going to go and say to your kid, "My dad hates your dad or hates your mom and thinks you're this, that, and third," because I don't speak about that in front of my kids. I don't even really speak about hating people, unless I'm talking to you guys, and it's not even hate. I'm talking about politics, right? And I'm on here and doing it live, But I think that's unfortunate because these are two, African American women, right? They, do things in the community. You know, they're both on the PTA, you know, the council of PTA. And, you know, and it's unfortunate. I don't know if there's something going on with the PTA. You guys are beefing over there. I mean, what's going on there? I know that's been a lot of unhappiness or whatever from what I said. People just not, you know, feeling it anymore. I don't know why that is. But, you know, so, you know, maybe this is why, you know, maybe this has to do with that. I don't know what's going on over there. But just be careful what you say to in front of your kids. You know, I just think that that's, you know, my son shouldn't have to hear that. Shouldn't have to hear that somebody hates his mom and that his dad is thought of as a psycho dad. People that, a person that doesn't know the mom really or know the dad really, it's all surfacey stuff, right? I mean, when you see me, you say hi, you have a big smile on your face. I mean, if I was a psycho, why do you engage? I don't get it. Right? It's like this person today that I shared something with them. I wanted to just share information. You know, I tagged them. It was something that they were involved in, and so I wanted to share an update with them. And then they messaged me saying, "Don't tag me. What's the information about?" I said, okay. So you're saying don't tag your organization. But what's the information about? I see, you know, and I noticed I sensed some, you know, issue from this person. And I, you know, I just asked him, I said, is everything okay? Because I don't understand what your issue is with me because I don't know. I don't know. Have you ever been in a situation like that where somebody had an issue with you and you just didn't know why? Right? Don't you think you deserve to know why, at least, if you're going to give me attitude or kind of, you know? And, you know, and it's interesting because this particular person actually was going around saying things about me that were not true. And it's funny because the person I heard this from was Keisha. Right? So that's what I'm just saying because, you know, I didn't like what you were doing with that, Keisha, you know, I think you're talking about, right? And so I didn't appreciate that, you know, I'm like, why are you going around saying something that's not even true? It's a blatant lie. It's a blatant lie that I can prove. Like, what is going on in this world? You know, and you try to do nice things for certain people. Right? This person, I would have fired a while back, but you know, I know they could have used the work. But I'm just saying, then you go around making a lie, just and then I'm trying to be like, whatever, I don't care. Water under the bridge. I didn't mention it. I'm still trying to be cordial, and then you're gonna be rude. Like I did something to you. I don't get that. That's Yonkers, folks. And I talk about it because these are people that are involved in the community, politics, you know, and nonprofit stuff and all that. They're Rob. You guys know them. You guys know these people. You know, they're well known. They put themselves in everything. And so, you know, going back to Keisha and Margaret Coleman. And so this makes me question now even more, like Margaret Coleman, do you know that this is the type of person that you know, I know you wanted to, you know, it to be known that she was not your campaign manager because that was kind of, I guess, what people were, you know, under the impression of. And so she wanted to make it very clear. Keisha Skipper is not my campaign manager, but there's still the association. And that's a person that I don't really know I could trust. I mean, you, one way this 1 minute, and then now, you know, I got to hear from your son that you hate my wife and you think I'm a psycho dad. Right. And so how do I trust that, you know, what you say is real and, you know, you're not going to do what you did to Mike Cater, right, in 2021 election. So this kind of, to me, ruins the whole Margaret, for me anyway. I'm just saying, Coleman campaign. I don't, you know, I just, you know, and so now at my eyes, who do I have? You have Spano, and then there's Corazon. Is Prince still in it? I don't know. So who do we vote for? And honestly, listen, in the primary, my support is going to be going for Corazon Pineda Isaac. And I'll just be quite honest. That's just, I mean, because who do we vote for? Do I vote for the mayor or Corazon? As a Democrat, who do you vote for in the primary? Because that's really the only two choices. Do you vote for Mike Spano or Corazon? You're going to have to make that decision, Democrats, because that's a decision that you're going to have to make. It's going to be here in June. And if you want change, then you have to vote for Corazon. And I know, look at her district. She was there for 12 years. What did she do? She was a part of it. You know, what do you do, Yonkers? Who do you vote for? The same is said about Moranti. And I like Moranti, but I also have my reservations based on information I have or I've received. And so, right? So who do you vote for? if you want change, who do you vote for? And it's a question for you guys to think about. But I'm going for Corazon in the primaries. That's for sure. That's who I'm going to be voting for, supporting. And it's because I don't want Mike Spano, not because I dislike Mike Spano. You're not going to hear my son going around telling people that my dad hates Mike Spano. I don't hate the guy. I really don't. I truly, truly, genuinely don't. I don't even hate his brother. I actually still like you, Vinny. I still like you. I have very thick skin. So once I get over the initial anger, I can move on, right? So I don't hate you guys, okay? But it's just time for a change. And while you could say corazón, that I will agree. I was saying it. But here we are. These are the choices. And we can always hold corazón accountable and say, listen, we gave you this opportunity because we wanted Spano out. But you are going to have to truly show the people that you are going to be here to do a much better job than Spano, or maybe the same job. I don't know, depending if you like the job Spano did or I don't know. But definitely, you're going to be a mayor for the people. That's number one. Mayor for the people. All people. Because some people saying, she only cares about the Dominicans. I don't know. Does she? All people, right? That's what you're going to have to be, and you're going to have to step up. And I think you can do it. I have faith. And folks, we have to understand that if you were under Spano administration, I mean, it's not a whole lot you could really do, because he and the people who make the decisions with him have full control of the city. So even if Corazon wanted to do these amazing things and, no downhill and have police there, have a police little hub there or a satellite station or whatever you want to call it there, ultimately Mayor Spano has to approve it. And if Mayor Spano wanted one there, he can say, put one right there, and it'll be there. So think about that. Think about that. Mayor Spano also knew that the no downhill section needed a lot of help. He's the mayor. He can actually get it done. He knew the officer was shot in the bodega. He knew about the 6-year-old that was hit by a stray bullet. Ultimately, he was the one that could have got it done, not Corazon. Should she have pushed harder? Should she have made a big stink? Yes, because that's what I would have done. But not everybody's like me. And I probably wouldn't have lasted long, right? They would have just went at me. Get him out of here. He's too much of a rebel rouser. So we have to think about that. And we have to remind her, like, we are going to vote for you and support you because we want change. But we are the people and we are the ones that ultimately are in charge. And so you have to do as the people say. And so if you can do that for us, you can give us that promise, I know politician promise, right? And we have to, unfortunately, make that decision. I don't want to say unfortunately, but, because I say unfortunately, because there's people that are not in favor of Corazon. I get it. And I'm just being honest. I'm sharing. And there's people that are in favor of Corazon, right? But those who don't want change, and I'm referring to those who want change, I'm referring to those folks, and I'm not sure about Corazon, that's a decision, you're going to have to think about. But we need you to come out and help vote for change. We need everybody, because we know, Lord knows, Zahi Jerris is going to be up in the election board doing what he does. This is, by any means necessary here. They done met up in Nick Spano's house. Everybody has their marching orders. By any means necessary, we must win this 4th election. So, everyone, all hands on deck. The people have to come out. None of this ballot harvesting, none of this, absentee ballot thing, man. Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls. Let's do it the old-fashioned way, right? So that's what we need to do. We have to come out. We have to be the ones that create this change. So almost 30 minutes. Perfect, right? So that's what I want to talk about there. I just want to give you a little update on this investigation. It's obvious that Liam McLaughlin is not going to investigate, but I'm glad that he made that decision so fast, because to me, that just further proves that he's part of the corruption. I mean, geez, can you even blink before you give that response? So he didn't even take the time to, why don't you call the people up and say, hey, what is it exactly that you'd like us to investigate? I mean, we see your letter here, but what specific allegations are you making? I mean, your job is to investigate and be sure that there's no corruption, no crimes being committed. So don't you want to know that there may be a possibility? If the people think so, your job is to go and find out for sure, not simply dismiss it as silly or whatever, political season accusation. You didn't say that with Mike Cater, and granted, it was the council that requested that investigation. And according to, those who are politically savvy, he answers to the council, not to Mimi Roca. And that's why he did the investigation in 2021. I don't know. I know that he just wanted Mike Cater out. Bottom line, keep him in this investigation so he won't run for mayor. Now we're asking for an investigation into his buddy, Mayor Mike Spano. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So we need outside agencies. We need oversight on these elections, because Zahi Jerris is going to be involved. And I just found out that the mayor's brother-in-law, a gentleman by the name of Tom Smith, also works at the Board of Elections. Tom Meyer, Tom Smith. Here, another Spano sister, actually. Tubiolo's mom. Zahi's girl's the commissioner. I mean, we need federal oversight on these elections. That's it. So anyway, folks, I'm Freddy Vasquez. Thank you for joining me. So yeah, that's where I'm going to be at with my vote for the primaries. It's going to be Corazon. I'm going to be just honest. And, and I don't backtrack on anything I said, right? I stand by it. All political things I'm saying. I do mean the apology to the husband, especially because as a man, I want to say, as a man, I have respect for you as a man. I understand, and I don't want to be a disrespectful person. I'm not a blatant disrespectful person unless you're being nasty and blatantly disrespectful. Then I can go all out with you. But, I don't want to do that, And so, my thing is, we have to make sure that we vote for change. Our change here is with Corazon, Pineda Isaac. And we, with her, can hopefully, help mold her into that mayor we want to be. Let's start fresh with somebody that we know, needs some work, and we let her know, just needs some work, but we believe that you can do it and we want to be there. But you got to make sure that you are truly for the people, and that you do not mess that trust up, right? Not give us any reason to say, damn, we made the wrong decision. We should have just went with Spano, right? Big Red picks and chooses who to investigate. Big Red, he's referring to Liam McLaughlin, which, by the way, before I go real quick, I want to show something here.
Other communities would choose to negotiate a settlement.
Big Red.
But the city of Yonkers chose to fight on.
Well, it was feeling powerless as a citizen. No judge should be allowed to do this. People talked about property values, that they were going to go down. And I just love it here so much. And I just had this vision of low-income housing coming in, because I knew what the west side of town looked like. I didn't know any of the people over there. It had nothing to do with the people. I just had this vision of everything that we worked so hard for going down the tubes. And then you find out that Lincoln Park taxpayers can't do a darn thing for you. Believe it or not, I was the shyest person in the world. I knew my friends and I knew my neighbors, but I would never, ever speak in public, or I wouldn't even think of it. I started to meet people. People started to call me up. I went to Save Yonkers. We joined that.
Save Yonkers Federation. To keep segregation alive.
We met Spallone, and that's how we really got involved.
I watched the Bronx die with the programs they're trying to give Yonkers, and I'm not going to support any of those programs. and I will continue to do as much as I can to fight them kinds of ideas that only lead to destruction of the city.
And so many of us on the council believe this decision should be reversed. We want an appeal. We want to be heard on another level.
There was a vote for an appeal, I believe, in the spring of '86. We had delayed it at that time 5 years. If we could will an appeal, we could certainly buy time.
Yonkers, New York, that man right there, it was a former councilman.
Appeals by the
Fagan,
city of the
who pled guilty
1985
to election
ruling
fraud with
kept the
Zadie
housing
Jarvis in
order from
98.
being enforced through 1986 and 1987.
Let's tell this judge to go to hell.
I saw some councilmen, to me, who were demagogues. They would go out and they whipped up people. We're going to win this case and we're going to fight it all the way to the Supreme Court.
There's a lot of genuine anger of the people out there, and they wanted us to fight it.
But one of the things I will push for is elections of judges. No more gods sit on benches.
The people who led the opposition were very clever because they had taken over the framing of the issue. And for a long time now, they had framed the issue around the judge.
Judge Sand eventually appointed Oscar Newman. And Oscar Newman was a housing expert, a planning expert, and his job was to help implement a housing remedy order.
You could close that off. Not only that,
And the monitor came in and convinced the judge that we should not be building high-rise with 100 units at each, or 75 or 80 units at each. What we should be building is clustering townhouse, maybe 30 units in one area, 15 units in another area, 10 units in another. Now, that sounds very good, and it was good. It was really good. The trouble is, if you build 200 units in two sites, you only have to worry about the people that are living around those areas.
I'm Freddy Vasquez. This
But when
Basement
you
Politics
start to build
Unfiltered. Thank
in
you for
units
watching.
of
That's going to be my show
25,
for
15,
Sunday.
you start to have 7, 8, 9, 10 different.
And what's going on here in Yonkers with all the developments and the building of low-income and affordable housing, or specifically affordable housing, which is what they have been building and where they're building them. Let's learn about the DSEG case in details. Let's see who were some of the players, like Liam McLaughlin, the current city inspector general, Mr. Big Red, whose mom led the coalition, the Save Yonkers Federation, which wanted to keep housing segregated here in the city of Yonkers. Kind of racist, just saying. That organization is still active today. There were some real racist council members back then. Again, Ed Fagan was an individual who was pled guilty to election fraud in '98 with Zadie Jarvis. He was a racist council member. You had Longo, who was the individual who would ultimately change his vote after the city was being fined every day for not complying with the consent decree issued by Judge Sands and was agreed to. So let's talk about that. I'm Freddy Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you for joining me, folks.
Freddy wins. Fatality.
I appreciate it. Enjoy your day. This is a great absolute documentary. It's a good documentary. So once I do the show, I'm going to post it on there so you guys can watch the full thing. It's pretty good. They're still segregating. Building most of the low-income affordable in the southwest side.
Freddy wins.
I'm Freddy Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Folks, be careful what you say in front of your kids. Especially about Freddy Vasquez. My kids love me. What did I do to you? What did I do to you? You guys are out there. See, this is why I don't trust you, Keisha. This is why I know you're probably working with them. Because you're probably working with them to spread things. I mean, unless you know something I don't know. Right? Because it's not the first time I know of you guys talking about me in a little circle. I mean, and why you hate my wife? What'd she do to you? It's not even gonna be me. That's your issue, not ours. I'm Freddy Vasquez, folks.
Freddy wins.
All day, every day, baby. And I don't stop until
Freddy wins.
You're
Fatality.
watching Basement Politics. My dad, Freddy Vasquez.
imagine that. People just like it
You're
for no
watching
reason.
Basement Politics with my dad, Freddy Vasquez.
In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
I want to end this quick because I'm greedy and I want somebody butter chicken. So thank you.
Thank you for watching Basement Politics with my husband, Freddy Vasquez.
Freddy wins. Fatality.